Hey viewers, welcome to my little web show. The title of this show is TUYI the Movie Geek, hosted by TUYI Ogedengbe. That's me. So yes, this vlog is all about movies. Each episode I'll be talking to you guys about movies, and I'll be talking about the classic movies I love, the recent movies I've seen, upcoming movies, and some very interesting entertainment news that I've read about on the internet or seen the news on TV. So, so this is episode one, and the three movies I'm going to be talking to you guys are The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Enter the Dragon, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So, first thing I'm going to talk to you about is this very personal favorite movie of mine. It's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It stars Clint Eastwood as the anti-heroic blondie, or rather the man with no name. So, so why I love this movie very much? Well, it's the movie is not like any other westerns that I have seen that I've seen like along like during my childhood years. This western is a spaghetti western. Spaghetti western means western movies produced by Italian filmmakers and filmed mostly in Europe, and as opposed to American westerns produced by American filmmakers and filmed in the U.S. So, this masterpiece movie, The Good, the Bad, and Ugly, is directed by Sergio Leone, one of my favorite directors, other than Spielberg and Peter Jackson. So, so yeah, Clint Eastwood, who was doing Rawhide in the 50s to the mid 60s. During his fifth season, he's approached by Sergio Leone to come to Italy to do a spaghetti western called A Fistful of Dollars, and Eastwood, seeing that the western movie is going to be directed by Italians, and it's going to be filmed in Italy and Spain, and the budget is so cheap, so he was reluctant to do that. But when he read the script, he realized that it's an adaptation of a Japanese movie called Yojimbo, and it happened to be Clint Eastwood's favorite movie. So he agreed to do A Fistful of Dollars. So the movie came out in 1964 in Europe, and it broke box office record, and it made Clint Eastwood into an instant superstar. And Clint went on to do the sequel for a few dollars more, and that movie too became a hit. And then Clint went on to do the third and final installment of the Dollar trilogy, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Now, this movie, like I said before, is my all-time favorite movie. It's one of the best Western movies in the 19 best Western movies in 1966, and it's the reason why I chose acting as a career. So, so like I said before, for a few dollars, A Fistful of Dollars came out in '64. For a few dollars more came out in '65, and The Good, Bad, and Ugly was released in '66. But all three movies were not released in the U.S. until 1967, and by the time they got released, Clint Eastwood became a superstar in Hollywood, and so he went on to become a big movie star. So he did classic movies like Dirty Harry, High Plains Drifter, The Outlaw Joseph Wells, the Oscar-winning movie Unforgiven, another Oscar-winning movie Million Dollar Baby, and and his last movie before he supposedly retired from acting and focused solely on directing, Gran Torino, which was his best movie. Just last year he came. Just last year he came out of retirement from acting and um, and starred and directed The Mew. So I haven't seen that movie yet, but I'm going to. I'm going to. So yeah, Clint Eastwood is my favorite actor, and The Good, Bad, and the Ugly is my favorite movie. So if you guys haven't seen it, please check it out. It's very, it's a masterpiece. So well, this is reference to. I'm referring to the younger viewers. So check out this movie. It's a great west. It's a great western. It's so please check it out. Okay. The next movie I'm going to be talking to you guys about is Enter the Dragon, another favorite movie of mine. It's one of the best martial arts movie I've seen when I first saw it, and it stars this guy here, Bruce Lee, one of the greatest martial arts legend of all time. Yeah, Bruce Lee. The guy was amazing. He was amazing with kung fu, and he's very quick in his martial arts move, and he created a new martial arts and technique called Jeet Kune Do. So if you guys don't know what that is, look it up. It's a Chinese words to the way of the intercepting fist. So Bruce Lee, man, the guy was the greatest. Enter the Dragon, another favorite movie. It's such a great movie. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about Bruce Lee. He was born in 1914 in Hong Kong, and during his teenage years, he get himself into trouble. He gets into fights a lot, and when he got beat up in a fight, he went on to learn martial arts of this under the guidance of this martial arts master called Yip Man, and he taught Bruce Lee everything he knew, and Bruce um, Bruce used his kung fu skills to get into fights, and his family were like afraid that he would end up in prison, so they sent him to America for him to continue his education and also to permanently live there. Since oh, by the way, I actually made a mistake. I think I said that Bruce Lee was born in Hong Kong. Did I say that? Well, anyway, if I did, I made a mistake. I meant he was born in San Francisco in 1940. So that's why his parents sent him to America to live there. And so anyway, by the time Bruce Lee was in America, was teaching. He was teaching his martial arts to so many people, mostly people of different races, from whites to blacks to Japanese, Koreans, and Chinese people were not very happy that Bruce was showing his secrets kung fu techniques to non-Chinese people. So, and of course, you guys who know who Bruce Lee was, you all know that he got into a duel with a Chinese martial artist. I believe his name is Wong Jack Man. I think that's his name. And of course, you also heard that Bruce Lee was not happy that the fight took so long, so he created this new kung fu style called Jeet Kune Do, and so yeah. So anyway, Bruce caught during his demonstration at a martial arts school. He caught the eyes of the creator of Batman 1960s TV show, William Dozer. He cast Bruce Lee into his new into a new TV show he was producing. It's called The Green Hornet. It was released in 1966. Bruce Lee played Kato, the manservant and bodyguard to the Green Hornet, played by Van Williams. So Bruce Lee became an instant star. He caught the eyes of audiences. They loved his kung fu, and Bruce Lee received so many fan mails. But after the show was cancelled, Bruce Lee was trying to make another TV show called The Warrior, which he developed, which he created a story for it. And when he presented his story idea to the American producers, they didn't think that a Chinese actor would attract audiences, despite that he already did that with the Green Hornet. So they decided not to hire him for the lead. They chose a white actor to play the Chinese character, and they changed the title of the show, The Warrior, into Kung Fu, and by the way, the Warrior is showing on Star on cable television called Stars. It was brought it's produced by Bruce Lee's daughter Shannon Lee. So you guys should check it out. I haven't seen it, so I'm going to someday. So I think it's on Stars. I can't really remember which cable channel. But anyway, so Bruce was not very happy that the producers didn't want to cast him because of him being Chinese. So he had no other options but to go back to Hong Kong and try to make a movies there, which happened to be his wisest decision. He made his very first Hong Kong movie. It's called The Big Boss. He plays a character named Chen Chaoan who uh, who lives who visits his relatives in Thailand, and when he gets involved into some gangsters who are drug smugglers and using an ice factory as a front for drug smuggling, he yeah, Bruce Lee totally kicked their asses, and well, and of course he's the hero of the movie and he wins the fight. And so the movie broke box office success in Hong Kong. It made Bruce Lee into a superstar, and his next movie after it is Fist of Fury, which was released in 1972. He plays the real life. He plays the real life Chen Zhen, who who um, um, who was avenging the death of his kung fu teacher. I forgot his teacher's name. What's his name again? Hong Si Hao. I think that's his name. So Fist of Fury is notable for Bruce Lee fighting entire Japanese bad guys in their martial arts school, and it's also the first of Bruce Lee movies where he uses nunchucks. So the movie too did well at the box office, and because Bruce Lee became such a huge superstar, he had enough clout to choose his own project, and the project he chose to direct is The Way of the Dragon. The movie the movie is notably for Bruce Lee having a duel with Chuck Norris in the Coliseum. That's one of the highlights of the movie, The Way of the Dragon. It too became a success, and of course because of and because of the Way of the Dragon, Chuck Norris went on to become a big time superstar in his own rights. So, yeah, after the Way of the Dragon, Bruce Lee was in the middle of shooting his next directorial movie, The Game of Death. He plays he plays Hai Chen, whose mission is to go is to infiltrate the Tower of Death. He has to go in each he has to go in each level to defeat every martial arts villains, trying to prevent him from reaching to the very top level to get a to get a treasure which villains never get to find out what it was, because Bruce Lee didn't get to finish the movie. But I'll get into that later on. Right in the middle of his shooting, he was approached by American producers, and they finally decided to use him in their next movie called Enter the Dragon. It will be the first Hollywood movie to be filmed in Hong Kong, and so this is Enter the Dragon right here, and this was the movie that really made Bruce Lee into a superstar in the U.S. Well, I should say finally made Bruce Lee into a superstar in the U.S. Unfortunately, sadly, he didn't get a chance to see the complete movie because he died on July 20th, 1973, which leaves us back to Game of Death. He died before he could complete this movie. So it was a big loss to every Bruce Lee fan, and they were so shocked and disbelief. But Bruce Lee did not die in vain. He inspired lots of martial artists in the world, and he also inspired martial arts actors to become superstars in their own right, most notably Jackie Chan. So yeah, and also he also inspired me to become an actor. But I kind of wish I took some martial arts lessons. But I did took some boxing lessons, so that's sort of count. Anyway, okay, so the last thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is an upcoming movie that premiered in Cannes Film Festival just 2 days ago. It's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino. Mind you, this movie is The Good, Bad, and Ugly and Enter the Dragon is somewhat connected to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because in that movie there's an actor in it who plays Bruce Lee. So you know another one of Tarantino's homage to the martial arts icon. Uh, Okay, what the movie is about? Well, I saw the trailer yesterday. It's set in Hollywood, 1969. It's the year of the infamous murder of a young actress, Sharon Tate. She was killed by the Manson family. So yeah, that movie's the events will be taking place in that movie. So the movie stars Leonardo DiCaprio, as it has been actor Rick Dalton, and Brad Pitt as his stunt double. Now, why I said The Good, Bad, and Ugly and Enter the Dragon is connected to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Well, first thing, you know that Tarantino directed two Western movies before, Django Unchained and The Hateful Eight, and they were all homage to spaghetti Western. And in a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, well, in the trailer when I saw it, yeah, DiCaprio is trying to do a spaghetti Western, and of course he flubbed his lines. He goes into his trailer and started cursing himself. So yeah, he's one of these has-been actors trying to make a comeback in a in a Western movie, which actually is not unusual because there have been a lot of has-been actors in Hollywood back in the 1960s that are trying to make it big in Italy with spaghetti western. But of course, Clint Eastwood was not one of those actors because he was not a big star yet. So he was not a has he was not a has been. He was actually a rising star who became very big thanks to the Dollar Trilogy. So anyway, back to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Oh yeah, the title Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is also a homage to Sergio Leone's masterpiece Once Upon a Time in the West, and also Once Upon a Time in America. So of course, Tarantino is a very big fan of Leone's movies, so he used that title for this movie. And so I'm gonna check the movie out when it gets released in July, and I know it's gonna do so well. The Rotten Tomatoes is 96%, and I'm a big fan of Tarantino, so I'm looking forward to see the movie. Okay, well, that's the end of episode one for now. So I hope I I hope you enjoyed. You guys are gonna like this footage, so please, if you do, subscribe to it, and I will. Well, I will talk to you guys again during episode two. So peace out for now.